Toledo Whitmer stomped Toledo St. John's 35-7 on Friday night at Memorial Stadium in an impressive display of force. This game was a rematch of the 2010 Division I Region II Regional Final, another game in which Whitmer prevailed. Both teams entered this particular contest 4-0, and frankly, both are likely to make deep playoff runs again. But there is no question on this Friday night, the dominant team was clearly Toledo Whitmer. We had a chance to talk with Tim Longevin.
Three Rivers Conference showdown between unbeaten Toledo Whitmer and Toledo St. John's ended up being a letdown as Whitmer just pounded the Titans 35-7. That was their fourth straight win against their league rival, and it extended their conference win streak to 14 games. And what's even more impressive now, the Panthers, after 5 games, have outscored their opponents 215 points to 13. Unbelievable.
They played this game 5 times. You'd see 5 games just like this one.
Definitely. They dominated tonight on both sides of the ball. They ended up with 429 total yards, and St. John's only mustered 190 total yards. But was really glaring stat. Whitmer had 320 yards on the ground, and St. John's only had 74.
Yeah, a lot of that yardage was after this game was 35 to 7.
Exactly. 43 of those 74 yards rushing came late in the fourth quarter when backup running back Connor Lake had a 43-yard run. But the game was already determined at that stage.
And that touchdown comes after the game's over as well.
Really started with a bang for the Panthers. They took the opening kickoff and had to start from their 15-yard line. And then, boom, Jody Webb took the handoff on a read option and bolted 85 yards. And they were up 7-0. The play took about 23 seconds.
He ran that play again, the same thing would pretty much happen, which it did.
Yeah, it did. And one of those reasons was a guy by the name of Storm Norton. Tell me that's not a great name for an offensive lineman. 6'8", 300 pounds.
This man is bigger than Taylor Decker is.
Yeah, this guy's a monster. And, Webb only carried the ball 14 times, and he ended up with 208 yards.
And that averages out to
14.8 yards a carry.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, that gives him 533 yards on the year now, and he's averaging a nifty 8.5 clip every time he carries the ball.
For the season.
Yeah, for the season.
He looked like a blue chipper in person.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot of response from the MAC. But I ran into a guy from Rivals at the game tonight, and he was telling me that Webb had some academic issues. When he transferred from Toledo Bowsher a couple years ago, and since he got to Whitmer, he's worked on his academics. He said it's a great school, and he's getting his GPA up, and he's hoping to get some more big-time football offers. Right. Then Whitmer jumped out to a 14-0 first quarter lead. Another running back, Leroy Alexander, had a 19-yard run. That that was capped by a 5-play, 67-yard drive. Then they added 14 more in the second, so they were up 28 at half. Tyler Smith had a 4-yard run. That made it 21-zip. That was on a 6-play, 61-yard drive. And then Jody Webb caught a 9-yard touchdown pass from Tyler Smith with about 7:43 to go in the second quarter. So they were up 28-0 at the break. Yeah, one was set up by a fumble recovery by Mark Myers. So they only had to go 13 yards in 3 plays.
Of course, the fumble was the result of like a total slam from Wormley.
Yeah, he had a big game. Wormley is a senior defensive end. He's headed to Michigan. According to the program, they have him listed as 6'7", 270. This kid runs about a 4.67 40, can bench press over 300 pounds. But tonight he had that forced fumble, about 6 tackles and 3 sacks. And he just was pressuring the quarterback all night long. Brogan Roback was pressured all night long, and after one series, he ran to the sideline. He says, "I'm getting hit on every play." And the coach responded, "Get used to it."
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah. So that's the kind of night it was.
Now, he's a very accomplished quarterback. He's getting looks from big people like the Buckeyes.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's only a junior, but and he had an off night. All right, he was 11 of 24 for 116 yards and a touchdown, but he was pressured all evening long. But he still had a really great pocket presence, throws a really nice tight spiral, sees the field real well. And, you know, I mean, you're not going to run into a defense like that every game. Whitmer gets a breather this week. At the moment, Clay is 1-3. They host Clay. I don't know if Clay won tonight or not. And then, likewise, St. John's hosts Lima Senior. They also 1-3.
You know, all we want to do is be 1 point better. And it didn't quite turn out that way, but we'll certainly take it. Get the ball in your playmakers' hands, which is what we did, and let's play great defense, and we did that also.
This defense, 7 points, 13 on the season. I mean, he has 14 straight quarters.
Well, you know, I just talked to my defensive coordinator, and you know, what's interesting is our kids are mad that we let them in at the end, and that's a great sign. That's what you want out of your players. We're going to compete for 4 quarters no matter who we play.
Does this game show how good Whitmer is? Does this prove anything for you guys?
Not necessarily. There's still some good opponents down the road, you know, and I made a comment earlier, we have some starters that are out. You know, our young guys just keep plugging along. When we get those guys back, you know, I don't think we've played our potential yet.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it, Coach.
No
Thank you.
Yeah, we're hopeful to have him back in a few weeks. He's going to be out for a couple more weeks, but I'm hopeful to have him the last 3 games of the season. Yeah, and both those guys are close. They pull for each other. They work together. They split reps in practice. You know, we feel whoever we're going to put in the game is got a chance to win the game for us. And Tyler Smith did a nice job tonight.
Once again, another dominating performance by your defense and Wormley.
Well, you know, when you have Wormley and Mark Myers and Garrett Clark and all those guys, you know, they play at a high level. The other thing, too, is we've had some guys out on defense, and whoever's in there seems to step up for us great. Having a lead early and having Jody make that big play got us excited.
Yeah, talk about Jody and just his athleticism, really, and just what he was able to do for you, a spark offensively.
Well, no play's ever dead with him. I mean, you saw that. Sometimes we may not have a block completely correctly, but he'll bounce it to the outside. He finds the seam. He gets to the second level.
Having great problems a few years ago, and for whatever reason, people seem to think it's the same way, but no, not this way. I came over here so that I could get a better education and better myself, and that's what I'm trying to do now, and it's coming along very well, you know.
What colleges would you like to play for? You mentioned Bowling Green, any others?
Really, I just want to get a good offer, you know, a D1 offer, that's really it, you know. If I can't go D1, then I'll go D2 and play my best.